Hello everyone and welcome back to another week of my little loves for this week. I am clearly wearing exactly the same outfit as last week. This is obviously where I film these on a Wednesday, so this is obviously where the Wednesday clothing rotation gets to. I do own more clothes. At some point we will cover them in a what I wore segment, but not today. So on with my little loves this week. What have I read? I have read Molly Makes that I showed you last week. I have no idea where I put Molly Makes. It will turn up immediately I press the stop button on this, I know that. But for now I'm not sure where it is, but if you get a copy, it's a lot of fun this month. I have also been reading The Worst Princess. Hold this up a bit better. This is one probably for mothers of small children, mothers of small daughters in particular. If you have a child that has a bit of a princess theme going on, likes the being pretty princess as a pea, this is the story for you. Princess Sue, the worst princess, she's waiting for her prince to arrive. He eventually does turn up, but he's a bit of a wuss. He's fought a frog to get to her. And his idea is she just sits up in the penthouse and twirls her curls and he goes off and fights the dragon. The dragon, on the other hand, turns out to be a much better ally. Between the two of them, they go off and travel the world and make mischief. As they say, making mischief left and right for royal twits and naughty knights. It's brilliant. I love this story. So yes, strong recommendation for anybody who's going through the princess phase. As a little anti you need someone to rescue you, you can do it yourself kind of a thing. So what I have watched this week, I have watched a little bit more Wolf Hall, probably only one more episode. We also started watching Death in Paradise, which is murder mystery set in the Caribbean. It's sort of the evolution of, I guess, Agatha Christie, you know, the Miss Marple sort of stories. They're all quite nice and straightforward and all tidily sewn up, you know, within the hour plot. A few bits of stereotyping going on there, but it doesn't distract from the plot, and they're quite entertaining. So we watched one that was right in the middle of the series, and then we've gone back and started from the beginning. So we've watched a few of those. And this has obviously been a very television kind of a week for us, because we also watched the first episode of the Great British Pottery Showdown. I think it's Throwdown. It's the pottery version of the Bake Off and Sewing Bee and all the rest of it. I have had one attempt at ever trying to do pottery. We went down to Art in Action, which is a festival, or used to be a festival, down in Oxfordshire. And we did have a go at potting. I was heavily pregnant with my eldest at the time, which really didn't help, but we did both have a go, and we did both make bowls, and then a friend of my mum's with a kiln fired them for us. So somewhere in the house there is a little bowl that I threw. It's probably somewhere over there on my desk, buried in things. So yeah, I have nothing but admiration for what these guys can do, and some of the things they did yesterday or the one show we watched yesterday, were just beautiful. And they had Emma Bridgewater come and judge some sponge painting on jugs. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, even if you don't think you'd be into pottery, it's quite fun to watch. What we have heard this week was Bess Atwell on Radio 2, and her music was lovely and she was a lot of fun to listen to, so I went and found her album, which is called, oh hang on, it's on which I could tell you what it was called, but for the fact that it's on the phone. I will put a link down below as to what her album is called. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't tell you what her album's called. Anyway, Bess Atwell, she's got one album out. I love her music, it's really, really nice. I'll see if I can link to any videos of it. But well worth checking out. Right then, what we wore. Well, I clearly wore the same outfit this week. Yay. I own other clothes, I promise. It's just how the Wednesday washing iteration works out. We're going to stretch this one slightly this week because the house has worn a new coat of paint. My lovely in-laws came down at the beginning of the week, and they and John between them, I just disappeared off to work and went, oh pretty, when I got home. They and John between them painted our hall, our kitchen, our downstairs bathroom, and John did our bedroom today, which is quite a lot of painting in 2 days. It's all nice and cream and neutral and very show homey, and hopefully it'll do the trick and someone will want to buy the house soon. Fingers crossed. But yes, it's all looking very new and shiny and not like we have 3 small children living here. So there we go on that one. And finally, what we made this week. Well, what we made and then finally. You can actually see one example. That's what the children made yesterday. I don't think it has a title. But I think that was the littlest too, having a bit of fun while everyone else was painting. They did some painting too. Given their colour choices, I think it's probably a good job we didn't let them loose on the wall. For me, well, the ripple blanket that I was showing you last week or last weekend anyway. That has grown by another couple of rows, but not too much, and it's over there. And it has lots of things on top of it, so I'm going to leave it alone for a minute. But I have been working on this. This is my little boy's Christmas jumper. Not, as someone on Instagram beautifully thought, for Christmas 2017. This is Christmas 2016. But we won't say that too loudly because it's February. So this is the bottom of the jumper. You're looking at a hoodie. So this, oh, there we are, that's the hoodie pocket there. This is the bottom of the jumper, kind of up to the underarm, so a bit like that. And then this is the start of one of the fronts. So when it's finished, it'll have another front there, it'll have a back, 2 sleeves and a hood. And the hood has some more of that snowflake pattern on it. So I think he's rather going to like it. So those are my little loves for this week. And finally, I would point you in the direction of Saturday Night Live's parody of a Sean Spicer White House press conference. I don't think anybody needs to know anything more than that. We're all too horribly aware of what's going on in the US at the moment. So go watch that. It's funny. It's one of the things that's come out of American politics recently that will make you laugh. And I will say thank you very much for watching and see you next week. Bye!